Life is a journey full of ups and downs, challenges and triumphs. It is a constant battle between our inner strengths and weaknesses. We all strive to live a life of meaning, but some habits prevent us from reaching our potential. In this video, we will look at 7 habits that make us weaker and learn how to overcome them using the principles of Stoicism. Stoicism, an ancient Greek philosophy founded by Zeno in the early 3rd century BC, offers us timeless wisdom that can help us cope with the challenges of modern life. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control, to develop virtues such as wisdom, courage, and self-discipline, and to accept the inevitable difficulties with dignity. Before we start talking about the 7 habits, remember, the first step to transformation is self-awareness. Only by recognizing and acknowledging that we have these habits can we rid ourselves of them by adopting the principles of Stoicism. They will give us strength, help us find our purpose in life, and help us find inner peace. Habit number 1, procrastination. Procrastination is the thief of time, said Epictetus, and he was right. Procrastination is the habit of putting off things and responsibilities until later. It undermines our resolve, hinders our progress, and ultimately robs us of precious time that we could be spending on personal growth and meaningful pursuits. Stoicism emphasizes living in the here and now, making the most of each moment. Procrastination, on the other hand, causes us to worry about the future or feel uncomfortable about the task at hand right now. To overcome this habit, we need to adopt a Stoic outlook and remind ourselves that the only time over which we truly have control is the present. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus advised us to focus on what is within our power and let go of what we cannot control. Procrastination often arises because we fixate on potential outcomes or difficulties, instead of simply taking action. If we adopt the Stoic principle of focusing on the process rather than the outcome, we can shake off the shackles of procrastination. Start by setting small, realistic goals and consistently work towards achieving them. Appreciate every moment of the present, because it is in these moments of challenge that we grow and develop the strength needed to tackle bigger challenges. Remember, time is a finite resource. Every day you spend in procrastination is a day you've lost forever. Habit number 2, negative internal dialogue. Our life is what our thoughts do, said Marcus Aurelius. The way we talk to ourselves has a huge impact on our self-esteem, self-confidence, and our overall well-being. Negative internal dialogue is a habit that weakens us, undermines our self-confidence, and prevents us from reaching our potential. Stoicism teaches us to take control of our thoughts and replace negativity with rationality and compassion for ourselves. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most famous Stoic philosophers and Roman emperor, emphasized the importance of keeping track of our thoughts. He believed that our perception of the world depends on our thoughts, and therefore we should strive to maintain a positive and rational outlook. To beat the negative internal dialogue, start by simply observing your thoughts without judging yourself. Notice when you have thoughts full of self-criticism or doubt and counter them with common sense. Ask yourself, are these thoughts based on facts, or are they simply the product of fear and insecurity? Stoicism encourages us to have compassion for ourselves, to treat ourselves with the same kindness and understanding that we would show to a friend in a similar situation. Instead of berating yourself for your mistakes or shortcomings, focus on what lessons you can learn from them and consider how you can become a better person. By replacing negative internal dialogue with Stoic principles, rationality, and self-compassion, you will gain inner strength and resilience. They will empower you to face life's challenges with confidence and dignity. Habit number 3, seeking external approval. Stop looking for what happens and start looking for what never happens, Epictetus taught. Seeking external approval is a habit that makes us vulnerable to the opinions and judgments of others. It undermines our self-esteem and prevents us from being happy because we become dependent on what others think of us. Stoicism teaches us to draw confidence from within ourselves and to focus on our character and actions rather than on the impression we make on others. Epictetus, known for his teachings on self-control, emphasized the importance of distinguishing between what is in our power and what is beyond our control. Seeking external approval falls into the second category. We cannot control how we are perceived or judged by others, but we can control our thoughts, actions, and character. To break this dependence on other people's opinions, you must first recognize that seeking approval is pointless. Realize you cannot influence what others think. Instead, focus your energy on developing virtues such as wisdom, honesty, and kindness. Stoicism encourages us to live according to our own values and principles rather than seeking approval from others. When you act in accordance with your internal moral compass, you experience a satisfaction that is far more meaningful and sustainable than praise from the outside world. Habit number 4, complaining. If you are distressed by something external, the pain is not caused by the object itself, but by your evaluation of it, and you can change it at any time, wrote Marcus Aurelius. Complaining is a habit that makes us weak. It makes us feel victimized and creates an atmosphere of powerlessness. Stoicism teaches us to change our perspective and take responsibility for our reactions, regardless of circumstances. In the Meditations, Marcus Aurelius reminds us that we choose how we perceive external events. It is not the events themselves that cause us stress, but our interpretation of those events. When we complain about external circumstances, we reinforce feelings of powerlessness and dissatisfaction. To break the habit of complaining, practice gratitude and positive thinking. Instead of dwelling on what you don't have or what is going wrong, focus on what you do have and what you are good at. Take a broader view and realize that problems and setbacks are chances for growth and development. Stoicism encourages us to accept the unpredictability of life and develop resilience to negative events. Try to look at things in a different way. You will find that complaints no longer have power over you, and you will be able to face difficulties with self-confidence. Habit number 5, the pursuit of empty pleasures. True happiness is to enjoy the present without restless dependence on the future, wrote Seneca. The unbridled pursuit of material things and wealth is a habit that often leaves us with a sense of emptiness. It undermines our sense of fulfillment and distracts us from the deeper, more important aspects of life. Stoicism teaches us to find happiness in the present moment and to focus on developing inner qualities rather than external attributes. Seneca, a prominent Stoic philosopher, emphasized the importance of distinguishing between wants and needs. Excessive attraction to material goods arises from unmet emotional needs or a desire to fill an inner emptiness. But this approach will not bring you long-term happiness. Stoicism encourages us to re-examine our desires and prioritize those that are consistent with our values and contribute to our well-being. To overcome the habit of excessive materialism, start practicing satisfaction with what you already have. Realize that the pursuit of material things often serves as a distraction from real problems. Instead of chasing money and things, focus on developing qualities such as wisdom, courage, and kindness. These are the real sources of fulfillment. Stoicism also encourages us to practice mindfulness and gratitude, to appreciate the small joys in life, and to savor the present moment. When you stop depending on material goods and the external trappings of success, you will find a deep inner fulfillment that will make you truly happy. Habit number 6, ignoring challenges. If you want to improve yourself, be prepared to be seen as foolish and unreasonable, wrote Epictetus. Avoiding challenges and staying within our comfort zone is a habit that stunts our growth and prevents us from realizing our potential. It prevents us from developing resilience, courage, and the ability to adapt to new situations. Stoicism teaches us to see difficulties as opportunities for growth and self-improvement. Epictetus believed that personal growth and development is impossible without overcoming difficulties. Start by identifying the areas of your life in which you tend to avoid challenges, whether it's your career, personal relationships, or working on yourself. Identify the situations in which you prefer to reassure and begin to consciously take thoughtful risks. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of exhibiting qualities such as courage and willpower when faced with challenges. When faced with a challenge, recognize your fear, accept the discomfort of the unknown, and trust in your ability to adapt and grow. Habit number 7, fixating on the past. Your mind is controlled by you, not by external events. Realize this and you will gain power, wrote Marcus Aurelius. Dwelling on the past, especially past mistakes and regrets, is another habit that prevents us from moving forward and enjoying the present. can lead to guilt, shame, and stagnation. Stoicism teaches us to accept the past as it is and focus on what we can control, the present and the future. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, reminds us that we are in control of our minds and thoughts. We cannot change the past, and wallowing in past mistakes will only increase feelings of regret and self-abuse. Stoicism encourages us to forgive ourselves and use past experiences as opportunities for learning and growth. To overcome the habit of dwelling on the past, you must first recognize and accept your mistakes. Realize we all make mistakes. It's part of human nature. Mistakes do not define your worth or diminish your potential. Forgive yourself and treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would treat a friend. Stoicism also encourages us to focus on the present and take concrete steps toward our goals. When you shift your focus from the past to the present, you gain new purpose and strength to build a brighter future. In our journey of looking at the 7 habits that make us weaker, we turn to the wisdom of Stoicism. Its principles give us the power to get rid of these habits: procrastination, negative inner dialogue, wanting outside approval, complaining, excessive materialism, avoiding difficulties, and dwelling on the past. All of these habits can be overcome if we learn to think like the Stoics. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what is within our control, to develop positive qualities in ourselves, and to face difficulties with courage and fortitude. Stoicism encourages us to enjoy the present moment and not to depend on what others think of us or on material goods. It empowers us to step out of our comfort zone and learn from the past without dwelling on regrets. As you embark on this journey of transforming your weaknesses into strengths, remember that change takes time and effort. Be patient with yourself and gradually incorporate Stoic principles into your daily life. If you are consistent and persistent, you will be able to break these habits and begin to live more consciously, infusing your life with meaning, resilience, and inner peace. Right, I'm a Stoic, and I'll know you've watched this video to the end. I hope you find these tips helpful. Share this video with anyone who might need it and leave a comment. After all, wisdom must be shared in order for it to bear fruit.